Hello everybody, good evening, afternoon, and midnight. Welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and this is yoga. I know it's been a hot minute since I've posted any uploads to this channel. I have been taking a little time out to just kind of rest and recuperate and enjoy the holidays basically with my family. But I'm so excited and happy to be back. I do apologize for my voice is still a little bit iffy, but please try to bear with me. I do have something a little different for you today. First, we're going to get started by just simply taking a nice, comfortable seated cross-legged position towards the center of the mat. Palms are up, shoulders down, and actually, as we get started, you might want to have a yoga block or two. I technically have one good yoga block. I have two, but I like to call this one a chip off the old block. Not really a yoga block, it's got a little chip in it. But if you have two yoga blocks, I do recommend them for this routine for today. Go ahead and take the shoulders down and back. Really think about opening up into your collarbone. Soften your eyes. Unhinge your jaw. Palms up. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Reach your arms up. Fingertips towards the sky or the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold over your seated cross-legged position. Really think about lengthening into your spine as you hinge at the hips. Fingers spread wide. Take your gaze into the into the floor or mat. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands in. And from here, go ahead and take your left hand into your low back, allowing the shoulder to come forward slightly. Inhale, reach your right arm up and take your head to your right shoulder. Really think about taking that left shoulder down, getting a nice deep stretch into the neck. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and release your right arm down. Release your left arm down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. Again, fold over your seated cross-legged position. Hinge at the hips. Take deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back in. And inhale, reach your arms up. Start to look up slightly. And as you exhale, you're going to use your left hand to take your head to your left shoulder. Take your right hand into your low back, allowing the shoulder to come forward slightly. Take deep breaths. And I apologize if you're picking up on any wheezing on my end. It has been an interesting holiday to say the very least. Inhale. Exhale, release your arms down. Inhale, reach your arms up, up, up. Fingertips towards the sky. And exhale, fold over your seated cross-legged position. Excuse me. And we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands in. And with your arms by your side, inhale, take your gaze forward. And exhale, draw your chin to your chest. Really lengthening into the upper neck, going all the way down into the shoulders. If you find that you're having a very difficult time reaching the mat with your arms, you can, of course, Take your yoga blocks underneath your hands for extra support as well. That's completely optional. Inhale, take your gaze forward. Now from here, as you exhale, you're going to pull the back of your skull, or what we call the atlas. You're going to pull it back and you're going to draw your chin in. Inhale, exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale. 1 more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Now let's go ahead and transition into our tabletop position, or all fours, whichever you want to call it here. Try to keep the wrists directly below the shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees below the hips. Inhale into your cow. Gentle back bend. Exhale, round through to cat, tucking in the tailbone. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take the hips to heels, reaching and extending the arms forward, fingertips towards the top of the mat. Take deep breaths here. If at any time we come to child's rest, you'd like to have your eyes closed, you may certainly feel free to do so. Inhale to all fours. And exhale, sit back on your heels. Now from here, you're going to lift your hips up slightly, cross your ankles. And then if it doesn't bother your knees, you're going to curl the toes under and come all the way up to standing. If this does bother your knees, instead, I invite you to first come to all fours and then lift up to standing. From here, go ahead and take a spot towards the center of the mat, turning so that your body is fairly perpendicular to your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. See if you can start to lift your gaze up slightly. Bring your palms together. Exhale, lower your arms down. Again, inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower. 1 more time. Inhale, reach. And from here, as you exhale, crescent over to your right. Take deep breaths. Sometimes in Hatha, we call this a half moon. Here, this is our crescent. 1 more time. Inhale. Come all the way back up to center. Exhale over to the left, lengthening into that side waist. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to center. And exhale, step wide, turning your toes out. Take your arms to cactus arms. Inhale. Sinking the hips down into goddess. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Triangle pose over to your right. Try to keep your hips stacked. Try to keep your shoulders stacked. See if you can take your gaze up. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And go ahead and release into your pyramid. Now in pyramid, we are lengthening and stretching the hamstrings quite a bit, reaching up into the hip. If you find that this bothers your hamstrings and or hip, keep the knee slightly bent. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Take your left knee to the chest. Take your right knee over your right ankle. Inhale, arms come up to a low lunge. Exhale. Take those arms down. Now you're going to pivot over to your left. Inhale and exhale into a side lunge. Really opening deeply into the hips here. Inhale. Exhale, lift to center. Inhale. Side lunge over to the other side. Deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and turn. Now we're coming into a low lunge over on the left side, really opening deeply into that lunge. Inhale, exhale, lower those arms down. Inhale, push back into pyramid. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Inhale, open out to your triangle, turning your right foot to a 45-degree angle. See if you can take your gaze up. Again, try to keep the hips and shoulders nice and stacked. One more deep breath. Inhale, back to goddess for a couple of breaths. Really sinking the hips down. Inhale, exhale, step together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, tip to the right. Staying here for a couple of breaths. Inhale. Exhale, tip to the left. Inhale. Exhale, step wide to goddess for a couple of breaths. So this is a really good alternative to sun salutations. We call these moon salutations. If you are practicing in the evening, let's go ahead and tip over to the right, coming back to that triangle. And it's a really good time to utilize this in your yoga practice. Again, really think about opening the hips, opening the collarbone, hips and shoulders stacked. Inhale, exhale, back to pyramid. Hinging at the hips. Remember, this is very aggressive stretch for the hamstrings and hips. So anytime you need to soften the knees, I highly recommend that you do so here. Inhale, exhale to low lunge, lifting the arms up, inhaling. Nice deep breaths, getting lots of oxygen. Inhale, exhale, back into that side lunge, keeping the shoulders down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, lift, exhale over to the other side. Inhale, exhale, coming back to that low lunge, inhaling. Inhale, exhale, back to pyramid. Inhale, open out to your triangle, turning the right foot to a 45-degree angle. Inhale, exhale, lift back up to goddess, drawing the hips downward. Inhale, exhale, step together. Inhale, arms up, palms together. And exhale, let's release into a forward fold, hinging at the hips. Again, if you need to soften the knees, I do suggest that you do so here. It's something where over time, the more you practice with yoga, the more you will kind of recognize what your body is doing in every posture. If you're feeling like there's sharp pain in the back of your legs, if you're shaking, trying to straighten, soften the knees. Listen to your body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Clasp the elbows gently. Swing from side to side. Inhale, hold to center. Exhale, release the arms down. Hinge the knees. Lift your heels and start to draw the hips to your heels. We're going to do a little bit more hip opening and or lower back opening work here. Inhale, exhale. Take the right knee behind the right elbow, so you're opening that hip just a little bit more. Start to use the right elbow to draw the right hip out a little bit more, opening the knee. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now, taking your time, start to take the right foot by your right hand. So you're opening the right foot out to a 45-degree angle. Your big toe should be reaching towards the left upper corner of your mat. Inhale, exhale. Take your right hand to the outside of your right foot and hold here for a few breaths. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips. Now from here, you're shifting your right knee over to the right. You're taking your right elbow and right shoulder around behind the right knee. Relax the back of your neck. Inhale, exhale, lift the left heel, draw the left hip down, come back to starting position. Switching sides, inhale, exhale. You're going to start to take that left knee out to the left, using the left arm to open the hip a little bit more here. Take deep breaths. Remember to keep your face nice and soft. Relax your brow. And from here, inhale, exhale. Take your left foot over to the left, so your toe is reaching towards the upper corner of your yoga mat. Inhale, exhale. Start to take the left shoulder around, take the left hand around, lift up, getting a nice deep stretch into that hip. Nice deep stretch into the back of the legs. Relax the back of your neck. Inhale. Exhale, lift the right heel, hips down, and carefully come back to starting position. Inhale. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Open up your collarbone. Now go ahead and turn so you're facing the top of your mat now. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, draw your hips to your heels, hinging at the knees. Inhale. Exhale from here. Take your hands forward, step the right foot out to the right. Inhale. Exhale, left foot out to the left. Hands to namaste. So we're basically in kind of a modified garland pose. So we're getting a deep, deep, deep stretch into the low back, into the hips. And this is optional if you want to sway from side to side. Personally, I find this helps to release the hips a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift the hips. Release the back of your neck. Your toes are turned out slightly. Inhale, exhale, bend the right knee. See if you can take the right shoulder around behind the right knee and hold here. So I'm going to go ahead and lift my head up just so you can see a little bit more clearly. Hopefully you can see this clearly from there. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and switch sides. Bend the left knee. Take the left shoulder inward. Opening that hip, release the neck. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale, release back to center. Step your feet together. Inhale all the way up to standing. Reach up, palms together. Exhale, tip to your right. Inhale, exhale, tip left. Inhale, exhale, fold. So yeah, I have been holding out some flow combinations for you guys, mainly because I've been trying to rehabilitate my piriformis that I re-injured for the 15 millionth time. I initially injured it back in 2002, summer of. Inhale, exhale, take your hands forward, hips to heels, and inhale, walk your hands forward, coming to all fours. Release the toes. Inhale, exhale, hips to heels. So we're going to do a little bit more hip opening, and we're going to reach a little more into that core today. Deep breaths. If you're like me and you're trying to get your sinuses to drain, your head to clear a little bit, this is also a really great way to get things moving. Inhale to all fours, and exhale into downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, knees and hips come up. And again, it's optional if you want to take the hips from side to side. Keeping the body in motion really helps to kind of clear sinuses. Get the fluid moving through. Inhale, exhale, start to lower the hips, coming into a nice high plank. Now in your high plank position, I want you to draw your navel into your spine. Make your torso as rigid as possible. Inhale, exhale, lift the hips back to downward facing dog. Again, it's optional if you want to take the hips from side to side. Inhale, exhale, lower the hips and hold for a few breaths. Navel drawn in. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. Optional, taking the hips from side to side. Inhale, exhale, lower, coming back to high plank. This time we're going to hold for 10 breaths. Really think about pressing up and through the shoulders. One more breaths. Inhale, exhale, downward facing dog. From here, inhale, and as you exhale, and I'm going to kind of scoot back so hopefully you can see a little bit easier. You're going to go ahead and take your right foot forward. Take your right foot to the outside of the right hand and lower the left knee down. So we're in kind of a lunge variation, if you will. Now from here, if you need to curl your fingers under like a fist, you can. Inhale, exhale. See if you can start to take the right knee a little bit further out to the right. And if you can, start to kind of roll onto your outer ankle, supinating that foot. Deep breaths. Really opening the hips. See if you can lower your hips down a little bit more towards the mat. Really think about pressing up and through the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can come to rest down onto your forearms and elbows. Getting deeper into that stretch. So we're not going into a full lizard lunge, but we are really working to release the hips. Make sure to keep your navel drawn in. Keep your glutes engaged so that you can release the hips a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, lift your right elbow up. See if you can take the right foot towards the left hip. Now, this is optional. The other option would be to come back into your downward facing dog if this is too strenuous for you. Now see if you can start to kind of heel toe your right foot further forward. Inhale. Exhale. Again, see if you can come to rest on your elbows and forearms. Getting deeply into pigeon pose. Inhale, walk your hands in. Exhale, curl the toes of your left foot under. Knees and hips come back to downward facing dog. Again, we have the option of taking the hips from side to side. And from here, inhale, exhale, take the left foot forward. Again, you're taking the foot to the outside of your hand and release the right knee down. See if you can take that left knee further to the left. And we have the option of supinating the left foot, rolling onto the outer ankle. Make sure that you're really pressing up and through the shoulders, keeping the glutes engaged, keeping your core engaged, navel drawn in. Inhale. Exhale, we have the option of coming to rest on the elbows and forearms once again. Inhale, exhale, lift the left elbow up and see if you can take that left heel towards the right hip, coming back into pigeon. And again, see if you can kind of heel toe that front foot further forward. Eventually the goal is to take the shin parallel to the front of the mat. Listen to your body. Inhale. Exhale, we have the option of once again coming to rest on the elbows and forearms. Inhale, exhale, walk your hands in. Inhale, curl the toes under. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. And again, we have the option of taking the hips from side to side. Inhale. Exhale, lower the knees down. Inhale, cross your ankles. Push away from the mat. So we're gonna roll back first to a simple seated cross-legged position. And then inhale, take the heels further forward. Really stack the shoulders over the hips. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale, take your hands further back. Lift the hips up into a plank position. So now we're in an upward plank. Really think about pressing up and through the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, lower the hips, flex your feet, toes spread wide. Inhale, exhale, take the right heel towards your right hip. Right knee towards the right shoulder. So you're going to inhale, exhale, start to take the shoulders forward so that your right shoulder is to the left of the right knee. Inhale, exhale, reach the right arm up. Inhale, lower the right arm down and take the right elbow to the front of the right shin. Now from here, if you're able, I want you to wrap your hands around and intertwine your fingers. This is a deep opener for the low back and hips. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, return to start position. Inhale, take your hands back. Exhale, lift the hips. Breathe deeply. Inhale, exhale, lower the hips, flex the feet, toes spread wide. Inhale, exhale, left heel to the left hip. So you're taking your left knee to the outside of the left shoulder. Breathe deeply. See if you can start to take the shoulders further forward. And from here, we have the option of taking the arms back, intertwining the fingers. It's a deep, deep, deep stretch going all the way into our garland. And remember to listen to your body. This is an aggressive stretch for the hips. And depending on kind of where you're at with your pelvic girdle, and depending on maybe if you have any strenuous areas, you might find this especially easy. You might find it especially difficult. Listen to your body. You know, if you need to stay here, you can. If you need to take the foot further forward, you can. I always like to say, I do not believe in levels. I know that there are levels out there. I know that there's, you know, beginner, intermediate, blah, blah, blah. I like to look at it as you can't cookie cutter. Cannot cookie cutter. Everybody has, you know, a different body. Everybody reacts differently to different asanas. Inhale, exhale, slide the heel forward. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, start to fold, hinging at the hips, coming into your seated forward fold. Again, if you need to bend the knees, I do encourage you to do so here. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, walk your hands in. And exhale, slide the heels in. So, you know, I've been kind of thinking about working more on hip openers, a little bit more on kind of aggressive postures. For today, go ahead and slide out the right heel. Take the left ankle over the right leg. If this is too strenuous for you, take your left foot to the inner right thigh. So those are your options. Inhale, exhale, see if you can fold, releasing the hips a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, either take the right foot to the inside of the left leg or take the right ankle over the left leg. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Inhale, walk the hands in, and exhale, release. Now, from here, inhale, exhale, left ankle over the right leg, and if you feel ready, inhale, and exhale, take the left heel towards the right hip into half lotus. Again, listen to your body. Some asanas are just not going to work, and that's fine. You know, if you want to sit in a regular seated cross-legged position, you certainly can feel free to do so. I do recommend, however, if you have a yoga block, to sit back onto your yoga block. That way, in your seated cross-legged position, you're still keeping your knees lined up with your hips, which is the main kind of point for lotus, is that it's taking pressure off the back. And by doing that, by keeping the knees lined up with the hips, you're supporting the low back a little bit more in your seated position. Breathe deeply. And release back to starting position, switching sides. Inhale, exhale, right ankle over the left leg. If you feel ready, take the left heel towards the right hip this time into half lotus. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. If you are in seated cross-legged position, you're going to just cross opposite legs. Inhale, exhale, go ahead and release back to starting position. A couple of different options from here. If you would like to use yoga blocks, you can, especially if you feel that you really need them, if your arms are not as long for your torso. I want you to see if you can start to pick the hips up and just hover the hips over the mat. Again, either using the blocks or not using the blocks. You know, whichever feels most appropriate for you. Stretching the hands and wrists and strengthening them at the same time. Inhale, exhale, and release. Again, we're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, exhale, lift. So this is kind of a good way to help get into the flying lotus that I've been trying to practice on for the last, I'd say I started with that back in 2005. Been trying to work up to that ever since. Unfortunately, I was not gifted with very large hands and wrists, so they're a little bit unstable. It's not to say that it's not possible to do an arm balance. It just takes a little extra time to work into it. Listen to your body. Again, we're hovering the hips. Make sure you're drawing your navel in tight. We do use quite a bit of the abdominals. Inhale, exhale, release. Now from here, see if you can take the right ankle over the left leg. This time, see if you can take the left ankle over the right leg, coming into lotus pose. Shoulders stacked over the hips. From here, we do have the option of hovering, hovering that lotus. We're taking deep breaths. And release. I don't know about you guys, but if you've been suffering with congestion, and I don't know about you, but I feel fully clear of my sinuses now. And we're going to go ahead and release. And we're going to switch sides. Inhale, exhale. See if we can take the left ankle over the right leg, right ankle over the left leg. Breathe deeply. If you need to rotate the wrists like I always need to do, you can. Have patience with yourselves. Inhale. Exhale. Press up and through the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Again, lifting into your flying lotus. Inhale, exhale, release, and go ahead and release your legs and come towards the center of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms forward. Exhale, lower all the way down. If you have any extra equipment, go ahead and push it to the side. Start to windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And slide out the right leg, followed by the left. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, take your arms overhead, giving ourselves a nice release into those abdominals. Inhale, exhale. Take the right knee towards your right shoulder. Take the left knee towards the left shoulder. Breathe deeply. Inhale, lengthen the legs up. Flex your feet, toes spread wide. And slowly release your arms and lower the legs downward. Try to keep the low back into the mat. And release, drawing the legs open, palms up. Start to soften your eyes and allow your eyes to drift closed, making our way into our Shavasana now. And for the purpose of this video, I am going to cut the Shavasana a little bit short. We are going to remain here for about 5 breaths. However, I do encourage you to remain in Shavasana for as long as you wish. We start to let go of any residual tension that you may still be holding on to throughout your entire body, from your fingertips, traveling all the way down to your toes. Begin to let go of and silence all of your strenuous thoughts, feeling as though your mind is drifting into the sky, and feeling as though your body is sinking deep within the earth. Let go and focus only on your breathing. Now from here, as soon as you feel ready, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Slide in the right heel, followed by your left. Take one of your arms by your ear and roll over onto your side. Coming into fetal position. Eyes remain closed. And begin to use the strength of your arms to come all the way up to a nice, comfortable seated cross-legged position. Again, if you would rather sit back on a yoga block, you can. That's completely optional. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release the arms downward. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale, reach up. Bring your palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And again, I do recommend the moon salutations, more of a way to unwind at the end of the day. We did kind of put it together with some combinations and asanas that are more for building heat and increasing blood circulation. I would recommend changing it up intermittently, perhaps using the moon salutations in combination with legs up the wall, or if you would like to use it as a way to wake up your body, of course we can put it together with more asanas that are kind of heat building. And again, as always, really listen to your bodies. Everyone, you know, if you have days where you're just not feeling well, rest is probably the most important thing that you can do for yourselves. And everybody, thank you again for joining me, and I hope everyone is having a happy new year. Peace. Take care.